Okay, so today is 1.5 multiplying polynomials. So if you want guided notes, there are guided notes. Otherwise, you can write on loose leaf. Today, we're going to be talking about how do we multiply polynomials. So when we multiply polynomials, we have two different strategies. We have two different strategies. The first strategy is we can just use distributive property, right? And most of you guys are pretty familiar with this, distributive property. The second way is we can use what we call area, or some people call it box method, right? And if you're like a more visual person, you want to keep things organized, you're probably going to like the second strategy better. And either method works, okay? So we're actually going to do a question twice, trying each method, okay? So the question that we're going to do is 3x plus 2 times 2x plus 5. And we're going to do it twice, right? Because I'm going to show you both strategies. So if you notice, we're multiplying two binomials, right? Because there's two terms in each parentheses. So if we wanted to use the first strategy, which is distributive property, we essentially take the first term and we're going to multiply it to both of the terms in the second parentheses, right? So 3x times 2x is 6x squared, right? Because we have two x's. And now if I do 3x times 5, that's going to give me positive 15x. Now I take the second term and I multiply it again to both things. So 2 times 2x is positive 4x, and 2 times 5 is 10, right? So again, you're multiplying the first term to both of the second terms, or to the second parentheses, and multiplying the second term to both things in the second parentheses. Now from here, you have to combine like terms, right? So we have the 15x plus 4x, that's going to give us 19x, and I'm just going to bring everything else down, right? So after I multiplied the two binomials, I got this. This is my product, it's my answer, okay? So some of y'all may like this method, right? It's efficient, it gets straight to the point. Now, the other method is what we call area/box method, right? So if you notice, this parentheses has two terms, and this one also has two terms. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a 2 by 2 box, right? It's going to basically look like this square. And we're going to essentially take this first parentheses. You can put it on the top or the side. So 3x and then positive 2. And then take this second parentheses and you can put it on the side. Now, for this first box here, you're going to multiply the things on the outside. So 3x times 2x. So again, you're going to get 6x squared. For this box right here, you're going to multiply things on the outside. So these two things. 2x times 2 is 4x. And then to get this one right here, you're going to multiply, again, what's straight up and straight to the side. So 3x times 15 is 15x. And then lastly, for this last box, again, you're going to multiply what's straight up and straight to the side. So 5 times 2 is 10. At this point, I like to write everything next to each other. So I have 6x squared, I have a positive 4x, positive 15x, and a positive 10. So that's why everything's plus. And again, you're going to combine like terms, and you're going to get your final answer, 6x squared plus 19x plus 10. So as you can see, you get the same answer, so you can do whatever method works best for you, okay? We're going to try a different question now. Let's say we have 4x plus 3, And then we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. Okay, so now we're multiplying a binomial with a trinomial, right? Because there's 3 terms in the second one. So if you wanted to do the distributive property, again, you're going to take the first term and multiply it to everything in the second parentheses, and then take the second term and multiply it to everything in the parentheses. I'm going to do the box method. So if you notice, I have 2 terms here, but I have 3 terms here. So I'm actually going to make a 2 by 3 box. It's going to be like a long rectangle, right? And it could be this, or it could be like sideways, like up and down. So I'm going to put my 4x and the plus 3 here, right? Because that's where it fits. And then I'm going to put my trinomial at the top, 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. And I'm going to start multiplying. So for this first box, I'm going to do 4x times 2x squared, which is going to give me 8x to the third, right? Because technically there's 3 x's. There is 2 here and 1 here. Now for the next one, I'm going to multiply this and this, right? So negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. And again, 2 x's, right? Because 1 here and 1 here. And then for this last box, I'm going to have 4x times negative 3, negative 12x. I would pause this video, try filling in the second row for yourself, and then you can watch what I do. So hopefully you tried that, and we're going to have 6x squared minus 15x minus 9. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to write out everything next to each other. So I have 8x to the third minus 20x squared minus 12x. This is a positive 6x squared minus 15x minus 9. So now I need to look for like terms. So I have 2 there, and I have this over here, the x's. So if I combine these, this is going to give me negative 14x squared. If I combine these, like you put them in your calculator, you're going to get minus 27x. And then I'm just going to bring down everything else. So this right here is going to be my final answer, okay? So let's say, though, you want to check to see if you're correct, right? So in this case, I said that 4x plus 3 times 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 equals this answer right here, equals 8x third minus 14x squared minus 27x minus 9, right? I said that those are equal to each other. There's a way that I can check this, right? So this is what I'm going to do, and you should follow along in your calculator. So you're going to go to your calculator. You're going to go to y equals, okay? You are going to put this in y1, and you're going to put this in y2, okay? So I'm putting, oh my goodness, I need to clear this. Okay, so I'm going to put the left side in y1 with the parentheses. So I have 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. You should be trying this as well. And then in y2, again, I'm putting this. So 8x to the third minus 14x squared minus 27x minus 9. Oh my God, I so messed that up. 8x to the third, don't be like me, minus 14x squared minus 27x minus 9. Okay, so if you did this correct, and if you typed it incorrect, sometimes that happens, you go to second graph. If you notice, right, all the y's match. If they match, that means you did it right because they're equivalent to each other, right? So this actually, we can check that this is correct, okay? The last thing we're gonna go over, if you feel overwhelmed, pause the video here and go to the practice. If you feel like you can handle one more thing, keep watching, okay? So again, if you feel overwhelmed, pause, go to the practice. If you feel like you can handle one more thing, watch this last thing. So let's say I have x minus 2, x plus 4, x minus 7, okay? And so now we're multiplying 3 binomials. What we're going to do is we're going to first focus on the first 2 binomials, okay? So I am going to first multiply these using the box method. So I'm going to get x squared minus 2x, 4x minus 8. Here's a trick, y'all. These are always going to be like terms. So I'm going to get x squared. I'm going to write it up here. X squared. 4x minus 2x is positive 2x minus 8. If you're confused, ask someone how I got that. So this blue part became this, and I still have this, right? At this point, now you have to make a 2 by 3, right? You should know how to do that. So pause this video and try it and see if you get the same answer as me, okay? So hopefully you paused it and you tried it. You should have gotten this in your boxes. And I'm just going to write out the final answer, okay? You should have gotten x squared minus 5x squared minus 22x plus 56. If you are lost, ask someone, okay? So at this point, move on to the practice.